So I here work at Skill-Lync as a mentor, as a director for computer science. And as per my experience, yes, I have a plenty of experience in terms of developing applications. So I will be showing you when you develop an applications, what are the difficulties you face, and one of the difficulties which you face, how to solve that. I will share you my screen. Okay, I will be using Google, since you will also use a Google, right, in day-to-day life. So just a sec. So let me turn off my video and I'm just sharing my screen. Okay. Okay. Hopefully you are able to see my screen.
Yes, Bhupendra, we are able to see the screen.
Okay. So guys, let's say we have, okay, this, I just suggested open some few words. Okay. This is what I want to show you. Sorry. If you're able to see this, okay. For example, this video, this image, okay. Let's open this image in a new tab. Okay. And let me zoom it out. Okay. Just read these few words. Okay. I will give you 30 seconds of a time. Okay, just try to read these words. Okay, total your time. Okay, you just utilize your time, be breathe yourself, and then try to read all these words. Okay, so there are many words here, right? Many words are there. Now if you have seen, right, we have words related to word, node, students, ordered, meaning, ceremony, actual, neighbor, so many things are there. Okay, so let's, I think the time is over. Let me close this. Let me close this also. Okay, now just tell me how many words you can recall right now. In the chat box, I think you can reply, right? How many words you can recall? 10 to 15 words. Good, very good. Okay, who else? 6, 10, right? Okay, I can see only 3 answers. Guys, reply. Okay, so if you want to make this interactive, you have to work with me. Okay, great. Now the reason why I have shown you this one is, see, we have seen these words right now, but do you think, let's say even we are able to recall 20 words, okay, that is the limit. Can we able to recall all these words after a week or maybe after a month? Yes, no, no, right? Because you are working on something today, and our, as our memory, right, it's a volatile memory. So you work on something and you capture those information for that particular amount of time, and once you are not connected to that, right, you start forgetting those information. Similar things happens in terms of a code. Okay, when you create a project, you write hundreds of lines of code. Okay, and it was very difficult to actually recall what you have done a weeks back, or not even a weeks back. Actually, it is sometimes difficult to recall what you done yesterday, right? Like exact information I'm talking. So maybe you can recall 10, 15. It means you may be able to recall 10% or 15%, or maximum if your memory is a very sharp, right, then you can actually recall 50 or 80%. But we are talking about, can you able to recall all 100% of it, right? Because we do not give any excuses when we want to work on a code. Okay, we need to know what we did yesterday or maybe a months back. So this is where we can actually use Git. Okay, before Git, right, this whole problem, okay, of maintaining a history of a code is used or can be solved by a software called a version control system. Okay, is solved by a system called a version control system. Okay, what does that mean? It means I can actually recall what version of code I have 10 days back or even a years back with the exact information. And that is the one of the key problem which we solve using Git. Okay. So if you're able to see my screen, I will show you few things here. Okay. So this is just a glimpse. Okay. This is just a glimpse. So we actually can keep track of changes of the code base. So code base is nothing but your folder, right? Where you are working on it. That code base, you can actually keep track of the changes. The next information is actually you are not the only one. There is a chances in a company, or actually 100% in a company, multiple people work on a single folder or a single code base. So maybe you can recall what you have done, but how will you recall what others have done, right? So you need something, a software where actually it can store information of what a user A or what a developer A has done and what developer B has done, so that you can look into those changes, you can figure it out what really happened. Okay. Few not much time back, okay, just a year back, there was a small problem occurs in a software called log4j. Okay, log4j, or usually, right, many errors comes up in the production environment. It means something is not working. So usually what happens, right, somebody has to look into that code, right? So initially, let's say at date 1 it was working and date 2 it was not working. So somebody has to look into those changes, what you have done on date 2, and then they will go through carefully all those lines and they will figure it out. A developer will figure it out. Okay, this is the mistake we have done and let's correct this, right? So first of all, to track the changes and to make sure multiple people can work on it. Even after that, these two are the main criteria why we want to use Git or any version control system. But the third one is also very important. As a student, okay, when you write a code, you will say in an interview, sir, I worked on a 5 projects or a 10 projects. Why will a interviewer believe on you, right? So you have to show him a proof. So in your Git account, I will show you those all those things. So in your GitHub account, if you have the code of 10 projects or 5 projects properly written, then you can put those URLs in your resume, and so that an interviewer can directly click on that resume or those URLs, and he will check, oh, this is what you have done so far, and he can ask some questions related to that, and because you have worked on it, you will be able to answer. And that's how nowadays interviews are going on. Okay, people wants to see what you have really worked on from end to end system. Did you worked on a particular language? Language is fine, language is the one of the tool by which you work on a software, but along with that, interviewer wants to see whether you have really worked on it and what are the different design aspects you have worked on it. Okay, I hope I'm clear till this point. Right. So what is Git? Okay, as a normal definition, Git is a distributed version control software. Okay, Git is a distributed version control software. The term distributed we will be learning in our workshop. Okay, for now just understand it's a version control software. Okay, a complete copy of entire code base will be available to all the contributors in their system. So for example, if there are 3 developers, okay, I will show you here. So if there are 2 developers, one developer will have the whole copy of the folder. Okay, when I'm saying folder and repo, both are same. Okay, so if I'm using the word repo, you should think in your mind as a it's a folder. Okay, so the whole folder or the whole repo is with the one contributor. This means for developer 1, and the same copy is also with the developer 2, and there is a similar copy of the code at somewhere in the cloud. Okay, when somebody says that cloud is nothing but a place, just like a Google Drive, right? Google Drive is a cloud. It means by internet, if you can access some information, right? Access a location, that is a cloud. So Google Drive is a cloud, but Google Drive, if you put your folder in Google Drive, it will not be able to capture the history of the code. You can put your code over there, right? You can work on that code. You can actually get a copy of that local code. Whenever you make a change, then again you can paste the whole code in a Google Drive. But you will not be able to maintain the changes you are doing every day, okay, or maybe in a month, right? So that is the part of distributed. Distributed means the same copy is there with the contributor 1, contributor 2, and also in the cloud. Okay. Now I also want to show you one important aspect of it. Okay. So what really happened in the industry? Okay. As a developer, for example, you are working on a particular problem. Okay. You are working on a particular feature. That feature can be anything. So you are working on a feature, and let's say you have written 15 files, you have made changes on 15 files, and there are a lot of changes you are actually already ready with. Now, suddenly your manager comes to you and says that by with any names. Okay. So let's say, for example, I just saw that we have Srimati right now with us. So I will just say, let's say Srimati is there or Ashwin is here. So with Ashwin, he will say, Ashwin, there is a bug which is in the system and we want to fix that as soon as possible. Now there is a problem for Ashwin because he was working on a code with 15 files and there are hundreds of changes. What will he do? Where he will put all the changes, right? So he have to maintain all those changes or maybe save all those changes, then go back to the previous state where he has there was no where he has not started any coding. Then he will pick the bug, like this is the particular error I have to fix, then he will fix the error, right? So this transition is actually a huge problem. You're working on something and then suddenly you have to switch, and this is a very common scenario in a software industry. You have to switch based on the urgency. So in that scenario, Git is also helpful. You can have that code, you can put it in some location, and then you go back to the previous state. You can easily work on the bug which you want to fix, and then again come back to the same state where you have left your code. Okay. So this is very easy, and we will see that today. Okay, fine. My audio is audible, right? I think it is audible.
Yes, Bhupendra, we are
Yeah.
clearly, able to hear
No,
you.
I just saw a message. That's why I was asking. Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
So let's again go back and see here the next step. Okay. How do you install Git? Okay. So we will just talk about Git first, and then you will jump into the another keyword called GitHub. So Git, if you search, right, you can also search here, install Git. Okay. So there is a website called Git SCM. If you go here, okay, there are multiple options for it, and I know majority of the people are using Windows, right? So for Windows you have to click here, Git SCM download Windows. Okay, so you will come here. Based on your configuration, you can actually download any one of these editions. Okay, I would suggest right now almost all the operating systems of Windows are 64-bit. So you can actually download the 64-bit Git for Windows setup. Okay, it's just a software, and you have to press next, 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 and I will show you what really you have to press. Okay, with there are multiple tutorials on the internet. I will show you what to do, okay, with the images and all. Since I'm using Mac, in Mac by default Git is there. Okay, and even if it is not there, it's very easy to install. You just have to check here. So in installing, there are multiple ways, and here you can click to install in the Mac version of it. Okay, so you can use installing brew install git, or you can install using sudo port install git. Okay, there are multiple chances which has already been installed, and these are two famous command. If you run it in your terminal, this is called terminal in Mac. Okay, is similar to a command prompt in Windows. Okay, so if you run this command for Mac, right, you will get your git installed. Okay, so we will go with the git installation for a Windows. Okay, so I will also search this one. Okay, since I do not have Windows right now, so I will search this one and we will see through images. Okay, so what you can do, let's, I'm sharing you this link. Hopefully everybody got this link. You click here and click on the 64-bit. Okay, click on the 64-bit setup, this one, 64-bit git for Windows. Okay, both are fine. You can actually choose any one of them. I would suggest you choose 64-bit. Okay, so once you have chosen 64-bit, it will download it. Okay, I don't think so it's a very big software, it's a very simple software. So guys, how many are trying to download? Samiksha, I will show you what I was trying to do. Okay, yeah, so please try to install this one. I have given you the link, right? So you can click on that link and then go install 64-bit git for Windows setup. Okay, so it's 50 MB. Okay, so exe file will not work in Mac. Okay, this is not the right file for Mac. So Mac I am not showing. I will just show you how to do it in Windows. Okay, how many of you are able to download it? Download it. Okay, Akash, Somili. Okay, who else downloaded? Done. Okay, just so I'm giving you 1 or 2 minutes of your time so that you can download this. Okay, this is an important step, otherwise you will not be able to follow. Okay, good. So I think many of you have downloaded, and downloading is not that difficult. Okay, so let's see how to install this one. Okay, so we will search how to install Git in Windows with images. Okay, so I will show you in images with proper images so that you can actually see that. Okay, this is a link, you can use it. I will also, okay, so this is the link, you can use it to get the image version of how to install it. Okay, so let's, Git I have shown you, right, what is there. We have downloaded so far, and see, this is where we have downloaded. So this is the exe file. Okay, this is the exe file which we have downloaded. So you just click on it. Okay, double click on it, and then it will show you a image like this. Okay, let me increase the size. Okay, so it will show you an image like this. So you have to just click on next. Okay. In next point, it will ask you where you want to install. So usually it will say C drive program files Git. So you don't have to decide anything. Okay, this is the place you want to install. Click on next. Okay, this is important. Okay, so what we want here is there are few things which we want. All these things can be done later also, but let's do this. Okay, so Windows Explorer integration, this is also we want. Okay, Windows Explorer integration. So put it here, git bash here, git GUI here. Okay, we are not going to learn these two, but it's important. Okay, later on you will understand. It's very easy if you put this. And then git LFS, large file support. Okay, so by git you can actually commit large files also, like kind of a movies, let's say you want to upload, or some images with a high volume, right? Those also you can upload. And this is also important. So associate git configuration files with default text editor. Okay, do this and then click on associate.sh file to be run with bash. Okay, done. Then you can click on next. Okay, so where should setup place the program shortcut? This is also git. So whatever is coming as default, just click on that and click on next. Okay, this is important. So what happens is, right, here, this is important, guys. Okay, so if you have notepad at your notepad is usually there in Windows. Okay, so you have to select this, use notepad as git default editor. Okay, if you have a notepad, but if you have also have installed Visual Studio Code in your system, right, then I would say you should use this. Okay, use Visual Studio Code as git default editor. Okay, can we do this? It's very simple. So if you have Visual Studio Code installed in your machine, then use Visual Studio Code as git default editor. If nothing is, if this is not there, then choose the notepad as git default editor. Okay, okay, even though these two steps are not mandatory, okay, whatever exactly it is going, it will work fine, but it's better if you choose these. Okay, okay, now here don't do anything, just click on this, let the git decide. Okay, let the git decide. Okay, don't worry, just put it here, let git decide. Okay, and then you click on next. And then this is very important, this is very important. So out of these three options, it's like adjusting your path environments, right? So you should write git from command line and also from third party software. Okay, just check this one, recommended, it's already saying recommended, right? So git from command line and also from third party software. Done. Okay, click on next. That's it, nothing you have to do. So click on next and just wait for a few seconds and it will install it. Okay, so this is very important, git from command line and also from third party software. Done. So once this is done, okay, how many of you are able to install it now? Say yes, no in the chat box. You select the recommended one. Somili, if it is asking for something else, right, you just select whatever is by default it is selected, right? You can select that. Okay, Garv is able to install, Akash, Vishwajit, who else? Somili, okay, good. Sadhna, Godhuli, okay, great. Few more, right, guys? Okay, how many else? I want more people, right? We have 202 people, right? Here, Okay, Anjana. Let's see at least 50-60 replies right here. You should be able to install this one. Yeah, great. Sangeet, okay. Samiksha also. Okay. Tarun, Harshvardhan, Akshaya. Okay, great guys, great. Okay, so I will be giving you, it is asking to use open SSL library. Okay, you select it, no problem. Whatever is recommended, it is saying just select that. Done. Okay, so what I will do, I will just give you 2 minutes of time. Not even 2 minutes, I think 1 minute is sufficient, right? So let's wait for 1 more minute. And in the meantime, right, maximum people will also install this. No, you don't have to launch Git Bash. Okay, just install it. That's it. Labhya, Apsana, Pari. Okay, good. Amit also installed it. Good job, Amit. See, following instructions, especially in a workshop, is not so easy. Not everybody is able to catch it up. Okay, so if you're able to catch it up, right, it means you're doing good. Okay, and you will be able to utilize best of these all these instructions. Okay, guys, I'm waiting. I'm waiting to see few more replies. Okay, please install and type yes. Okay, great. No, we are not going to share any recordings. Okay. So now if you have installed, right, let's open your command prompt. Okay. Let's everybody use command prompt. Okay. So command prompt for me, I will be using this terminal and you can use command prompt. I hope everybody knows how to use command prompt. Okay. So let's open command prompt in your system. Open and then type git hyphen hyphen version. Hyphen hyphen version. Okay, so if you are able to see a version number there, okay, it means your system, your Git has been successfully installed in the system. Okay, you have almost won 10% of the battle. Okay, this is the first 10% where people used to get confused. Okay, so if you have used there, it's actually able to come up in your command prompt, then 10% of the battle has already won. Okay, remaining 90% we will see. Okay, who is able to see? So I will be writing the command here, git hyphen hyphen version. Who is able to see this git hyphen hyphen version in their command prompt? Yes, no. Okay, I can see. Okay, Akshaya, Lavya, Pari. Okay, great. Okay. So now we will see how do we start working on a project. Okay, how do we start working on a project? So Git is installed. Whatever is recommended version coming up 91899. Okay, you can select that. Okay, yes sir, I can see the version. Okay, good. So let's go here in our command prompt and let's try to create a folder where we want to work. So this is our project. Okay, so for example, all of us are Java people. Okay, we will be writing a small line, like 2 pages of Java. You do not have to worry about, right, whether it's Java or something. You can write in JavaScript or any programming language. But the idea here is writing some kind of a text. Okay. So let's create a folder. So how do we create a folder using command prompt? mkdir. Okay. And you write what? You write sample underscore project. Follow this. Okay. Sample underscore project. Okay, sample underscore project. So my folder has been created. I can see that folder created here. If you are in Windows, you have to type dir. Okay, I am typing ls here. You can type dir. Okay, you should be able to see a folder called sample project. I will come. Sorry, I will just. Okay, so how many of you are able to create sample project? Done, right? I will come out from here. Here I will create. I will create again. I will show you again. Okay. So how do we do version? Git hyphen hyphen version, and then I will create mkdir sample project. Okay. Let's say I'm adding sample project 1. Okay. This is my folder name. Now let me go to this folder name. So how do I go? CD sample project 1. And right now we are in our sample project 1 folder name. Okay. At this point, okay, there is no code, nothing is there. Okay, it's just an empty project, empty folder. Okay, at this point, what we should do? Okay, so once you create a folder, the first job is to initialize a Git repo. So we have to convert this folder into a Git repo. Okay, so how do we do this? Hopefully you are able to follow till this instructions, guys, right? You are able to create a folder and go inside that folder. Yes, no, yes. Okay, so we are into our folder, and now we have to type git init. Okay, git init, that's it, and we put enter. Okay, and you should be seeing something like this. Okay, git init and something like this. Okay, so you can see now this folder has been converted into a Git repo. It means the software Git, it has actually started monitoring your folder. Any changes if you do from now onwards, he will track all those changes. Okay, so Git init. So how do you convert a folder into a Git repo? You have to type Git init. Okay, I will write down the code here for you. Git space init. I think it directly went not to everybody. Git init. Okay. So let's go again here. And this time I want to open this folder into my VS Code. Okay, so any editor is fine, but let's open this folder into any editor, whatever you have. Since majority of you are computer science engineers, right? So you will have some kind of a tool to open this folder. Either you will have Notepad++ or Sublime or VS Code. VS Code is very famous one. So you will be using VS Code here. So there is a shortcut to open this folder into VS Code. So you can type code space dot. So if I do this, this folder will open in my VS Code. Okay, so it's an empty folder right now. There is no file. Okay, See, there are multiple ways to open a folder in VS Code, right? So if you create a folder here, you can also see that folder somewhere from here, right? So I have this folder here. So I did this here. See here, I have the sample project one. So I can directly click here, open using VS Code. You must also be seeing this one. If you are not, right, you can open VS Code separately and then go to file, open folder, and then choose wherever your folder is. So likewise, I have this sample project one. Okay, so I can choose this. Okay, I have already opened it. Hmm. Are you able to follow till this point? Yes, Swamili, you can type your question, Swamili. Okay, so you do not have VS Code, no problem. Okay, no problem. What you can do, I will show you. So VS Code is nothing, just an editor where we can actually create multiple files. Okay, but you know how to create files, right? So the way I will be creating files, you can create using other approach. Okay, you can use Notepad to create all those files. Okay, but in the same folder. To open VS Code, you have to press code and then space dot. So we are opening this folder into our VS Code. This is an empty folder. So let's say I have this folder. Okay, I have this folder, sample project one. And everybody can go here, right? And I can create multiple files, right? In Windows, it is very simple to create a file here. It will say notepad file, text file, all those files you can create. So similarly, I have just opened this folder into VS Code. And from here, I will be creating all the files. Okay. No, it's not like that, Somili. Okay, you just create one folder anywhere. Okay, sample project one or sample project, anything is fine. I created sample project one. Okay, and inside sample project one, you can just initialize your Git repo, right? Git space init. So it's done. Now let's jump to the next part, which is important. So now I am here and I'm going to create a file called main.java. Okay. So I will be creating a Java project. So that's why I'm writing main.java. Okay. You can create any kind of project, Python, everything is fine. But the idea here is to create files and add some content. Okay. So let's write some code here. Public, increase some font size so you can see. Okay. Class main. Okay. And I will be having public static method. Main string array is the common syntax for having a method here. Okay. And system out println, and then I am writing a hello world. Okay. I made this change. So we just need a file and we have added some code. This is a code for the Java program for a printing hello world, right? You can write your Python program or JavaScript program, anything is fine. The idea here is to add some content. Okay. You can simple add simple text message also, but I will suggest you just follow the same instructions which I am doing. So there will be no confusion and I would be able to help you out. So we are not going to run our Java program, okay? We are just going to see how Git is doing the miracles, okay? All this magic. Okay. So now I have added one file. Now we will again go back to our terminal here, okay? And then we are going to see what the changes we have done so far. So there are few commands in Git. There are two ways to do the same operation. One is using Git commands, which we are learning right now. One is to using some kind of a graphical user interface. Okay, both are good, but nowadays, not nowadays actually, developers love to work on command prompt. They like this black screen writing commands, looking like a hacker or something, right? But they are just pretty simple commands which they run here and they feel it more comfortable and more controlled. Okay, so that's why they are doing it from here. So now this next command which we have to learn. So we have learned many few commands, right? We have learned git hyphen hyphen version, right? We have learned git init. That was the second command. Third one, we are going to learn git status. Okay, git status. Type this git status, and you should be able to see something like this. How many of you are able to see this? Yes, RK, you can create a CPP file, no problem. Anything, any text file is also fine. How many of you able to run git status command and see this? I will be writing it here. Git status, git space status. Okay, great. So when we run git status, okay, this is a very important command, and without this command, right, it is impossible to work on Git because it tells you at what level you are, and based on that only you will be able to take some actions. So when we run git status, it is saying there is a file called main.java which is untracked right now. It means Git knows what are the changes you are doing, but you have not committed this file. When I say commit, it means you have saved the changes, okay? And Git is still looking at all your changes, but you have to make sure you have to make a commit to the Git saying that, okay, now this file is done. You save this as a history, okay? You save this file as a history. So what do we do? Okay, see, when I say history, right, at every point of time, right, at every point of time, let's say if I want to remember something, right, let's say there are multiple steps I want to remember. So what you do, right, you take a different snapshot of it, you take different pictures of it, right? For example, that's how I did. Okay, so for example, the earlier video recording was not so simple. Okay, so what we do, I was repairing my laptop like 10 years back, and there were so many parts over there. So I thought, okay, I will forget which bolt will come from where I have to set up. So whenever I am actually opening it, right, at every interval, I was clicking some pics. So that was nothing but a snapshot to remember at what stages it started and what stage it reaches. So here, this main.java file is there, but it is saying it's not yet saved in the Git history. So if you want to save it in a Git history, you have to do certain things. Okay. So first thing which you have to do, whenever you see this red color, okay, it means there are changes which Git has not saved it yet. Okay. First of all, you have to make sure these changes are ready to commit. Remember this, guys, this line. Git actually this process is little not tricky, but needs some understanding. So first of all, you have some changes which you want to save in Git history. But first of all, you also have to make ready to commit, not commit directly. You have to make sure out of these 10 files, only 4 files I want to commit, or 3 files I want to commit. So in this scenario, right, we have to make sure out of these many changes, only these files are ready to save. These files are ready to save in a Git history. So for doing that, see here it is saying use git add file name to include in what will be committed. Okay, so we have multiple options. We will be using the simplest option, git add, and instead of writing file name, we will write dot. Dot means all the files, all the untracked changes, all means all the changes which has done so far, which is not in the git history, you make them ready to commit. Okay, so git add dot, git add and space dot. I will write here git add and space dot. Okay, so this is the command. So let's do this. So I added this git add dot. Now check our git status. See the same file, now it turned into a green file. Okay, what does it mean? These changes are not yet committed. So it is saying now these changes are ready to commit. Okay, so we earlier it was just a changes, then we have made them into a ready to commit, and then we are going to commit. Okay, so after this line, this is a very important line which I'm going to write now. Okay, git commit hyphen m. Git commit space hyphen m, and then we in double quotes we type a meaningful message. Okay, meaningful message, right? So that while reading the message itself, we will understand what happened, what we did. So we will write added main dot java file. Okay, this is the message. You can type any messages, any commit message you can type, but it's recommended you should always type a meaningful message, so that while just looking at the message, you will understand what we have committed. Done. Okay, done. So you will be seeing some kind of a this line that one file changed, 5 insertions, created this mode main.java. Okay, so if you're able to see this line, right, it means your changes are committed. Okay, your changes are committed. I will be sharing you this code with all of you. So after git add, you have to write this git space commit. Mehul, Git is usually there in the Mac by default.
Okay. Sure, Bhupendra. So actually, a couple of folks were asking, so if we can just show them
Guys, you are not able
so
to
that they
see
can also follow.
you are not able to see Git in your Mac.
I think Shivani just asked that question, and so
Okay.
if we basically can just show where they can
Okay.
basically see
So
that.
Shivani, what you do, right? Just search in Google, right? How to do this. We have actually come little far. It's not recommended to go back again for the installation. Okay. So we you just search in the Google, right? How to install Git in Mac. It's a pure simple instruction. Just follow that. Okay.
Sure. Thanks, Bhupendra.
Okay. So guys, now we have committed, and now how do we see that, right? What we have committed. Okay. So to see that, right? First of all, we will see always our friendly command is git status. Every time, anywhere you can type this command and no change will happen, right? It will just to see at what status we are. Now, if you see here, you are on master branch, nothing to commit, working tree clean. It means all the changes in the folder has been saved in the Git history. Okay. So all the changes you have done so far, they have already been tracked off. No problem. Right. Now we will see that. Okay. This is very important. We will see also there is another command called git log. So I will clear this. Clear this and type git log. Git space log. See here, this one. So this is very important. If you're able to see this line, what exactly it is tell? This is the user, author, on this date. Okay, at this time, he has made a commit, and this is the commit statement. This is the commit message. What are all the files he has committed? We will be not be able to see it here. Okay, we will see that how to do this. But right now, we are able to see the message. So by this message itself, we will be able to understand, oh, on that day, we were actually added main.java file. That was our first commit. Okay. Now let's do a few more changes. Okay. And let's try this. Let's make this as a habit. Okay. It shouldn't be that difficult. So let's create one more file, or maybe you can add one more function inside this file. So let's add a few function inside this file. Okay. So let's add one more function, public static add integer add. This is just a function to add two numbers, a, b, and then it returns a plus b. After you made a change. So guys, this is also we have to remember. You don't have to do git commit after every single line of commit, single line of code, right? Once you do some good coding, right? Once you do, okay, this is something is working fine. Now we should be committing these changes. Now we should be making this in your mind, right? Always take this like this. Okay. Now I have achieved something in my code. This is working till this point. It is working fine. Now let's take a picture. That picture, right? Taking a picture is nothing but let's commit this code. Okay, let's commit this code. So now I added this function. This function, let's say, is working fine. Now I want to make these changes and put it into Git history. So I will again go open terminal here. And what is my friendly command? Git status. I can see it is saying there is a file called main.java, okay, which has some changes to commit, right? So this time we had two options to add this file, to make this file ready to commit. We can type git add dot, right? This is the one command, very simple command. Or the other command is which is written here, git add this file, right? Git add this file. So file name. So git add, and we will write main.java. Git add main.java. So we will write enter. Okay. Now we will see git status. The file is coming in green. It means file is ready to commit. Okay. These changes are good to go, and we can actually take a photo. So this taking photo means we can commit this. So let's commit this change. Git commit -m, and let's add a relevant message. Always add a relevant message. So added a some method in class. Added a some method in main class, or add method in main class. Right? add method in main class. Okay, one file changed, 4 insertion done. Let's use our friendly command to see what is the status. Nothing to commit, working directory clean. Once we have commit, right, we have to see what are the changes. So how do we see what are the changes? How do we see the git history? Okay, we have a famous command, git log. Okay, so let's clear this terminal. In command prompt you can type cls. Okay, and here let's do git log. See guys, this is important. So we are, it is journey started from here, Saturday, March 4th at almost 8 p.m. 59th minute, right? And here it's like 9 p.m. 9:05 p.m., right? So we have the second commit here. Likewise, we can have hundreds of commit or maybe thousands of commit. But right now we have these pictures. Okay. And there are few also important things. Okay. So when we actually do this git init, right, where exactly it is going, right? It must be, the software is taking care, right? But there is some database, right? It must be going somewhere. So usually what happens, right? In this folder, in this folder, um, you are not able to see anything else. But in this folder, there is a one more hidden folder. Okay, there is a hidden folder. How will I see this? Okay, usually there is an option here, right? View. Okay, not required, not necessarily required, but what I'm trying to see, there is a hidden folder here. Okay, in Windows it is easy to see hidden folders. So the folder name is .git. Okay, the folder name is .git. So that .git folder is actually nothing but the database of our Git repo. If you delete that folder, all history is gone. So that's the reason they have made it as a like a hidden folder, so that you are not able to see, and accidentally you should not delete that. So in that .git folder, you have each and every these changes, right? The software is taking care of all these changes and putting it there in its own way. But right now we just have to understand that folder is our database, and by mistake if we delete that folder, if let's say it is visible, then we will lose all our history. Okay, then again we have to start our journey from git init. Okay, how many of you can see? Yes, I can see in terminal. Okay, now how many of you are able to follow till this point? Okay, Sadhna was able to follow, Somili also, Gauduli also. Okay, great job, guys. Okay, yeah, please reply. Yeah, thanks, Vinay also. Yes, right. Okay, Amy, Tarun. Okay, great job, Samiksha. Now, see, let's make a one more time. Okay, let's make few more changes. Okay, but this time we will do like this. Okay, this time we will make some changes here. So let's add one more file. Okay, let's add one more file called calc or mm, math.java. Okay, math.java we added, and let's have few functions here. Public static. Okay, so that add function which we added there, right? Let's add it here. Add here int a, int b. Let's return a plus b. Similarly, we will have one more static subtract int subtract a b A minus B. Simple code. Okay. So we have a class, we have two methods, add and subtract. And we will remove some changes from main.java, right? Because now I have it there. So let's not use this, right? I have this file. I'm not teaching you Java. I'm just showing you we have two files. We have some changes here. We also made some changes here, right? We have removed the code. So now there are two files. There are changes in two files. So let's go to our terminal. Okay, let's clear this git status. See here, two files. One file is a new file. That's why it is saying this is a file which is untracked right now. Then one file, there is a file which has some changes. Okay, so the file was already added, but this file changes was not added so far. So how do we do this? Git add dot. Okay, to include all the changes and make them ready. So we will use git add dot. Okay, let's do one more time. Git status, right? Both the files are ready to commit. Let's commit these files. Commit -m. Okay, let's put a relevant message. So we'll say added app.java and removed add function from main. Okay, done. And let's clear this input git log. See, now we have 3 commits. Okay, so we have 3 commits. This is how we should create all our projects. Okay, this is how we should create all our projects in this fashion. So you do some changes. Now you see, okay, it is working fine. Let's commit that changes. Again, you do some changes. You say, oh, this is working fine. And okay, now let's commit these changes so that you have different tracks. Okay, you have the history maintained. Okay, not so frequently. Usually you changes. If let's say you are creating a big project, then maybe 1 or 2 files when you complete, or a one particular feature, let's say one you complete, right? Then you can make a commit. Okay, that's a good practice. Now, just tell me this one. Okay, this is very important. So far this is fine, guys. Okay, so far this is all things are happening good. Now I will tell you a different use case story. Okay, the same story which we were talking about, right? Let's say I want to work on a different feature, right? So for example, I want to work in, so this is a math file, right? This is a calculator file, right? And let's say I want to work on a feature related to trigonometry or a geometry, right? So in this one, I want to add some functions related to geometry. Okay, and all those functions I will create a class. I will add those features, right? So no problem. If I go with this approach, there is no problem. I will create a class, add functions, I will commit. Okay, but usually what we should do, okay, in a company, there in a single folder there are multiple people working on it, and sometimes one person is working on some product, one person is working on some feature, right? So for example, let's say any two of you. Okay, I will just take an example here. So for example, I have Sangeet here and Vinay here. So for example, let's say Sangeet and Vinay, they both are working on this product. Okay, this math product. And Sangeet wants to work on a trigonometry because his manager assigned him to work on a trigonometric functions. And Vinay is working on a geometry functions. Okay, so both are working on a two different features. Now, if both has this folder access, right? Both has the Git access. What will happen if Sangeet is using this code and he made some changes? Okay, he created a file, he added some changes, and suddenly he committed also. Okay, in the meanwhile, he commit the code also, and he screwed up something, right? And he screwed up. So Vinay will also get hampered, right? Because now it will be very hodgepodge. It means some code of Sangeet will come, then some code of Vinay will come, and then this process is not good, right? Ideally, you should complete a feature and then commit to the main code, right? So when we are saying main code, it means our main folder. So far, we have just followed a basic process to understand how do you see. Okay, so far we have seen this process of how do we see what are the changes we have done, like using git status, what are the pending changes, how do you add, ready, make them ready to commit, and then how do you commit. Now this time we will see how do you work on a feature. Okay, and this is how you should work. So you, let's say you create a code base. At this time you started your code base, which is empty right now, and let's say this is our code. Now I want to work on a geometry part of it. Okay, so what I will do, I will go here and do something interesting. Git checkout hyphen b. Git checkout hyphen b, and then I will write geometry. Okay, git checkout hyphen b, and then I will write geometry. This name geometry is called branch. Okay, this name is called branch. So what we are actually trying to understand here is the concept of branches in Git. So why do we create branches and why do we deviate from it? So you are at your master code. Okay, this is your master code. Now you want to develop a feature. So you pull out a branch, then you work separately, you make sure everything is working fine, and then you again put all the code into the main branch. That should be the process, right? This is how everyone should be working. So this is how multiple users works on the same product. 2 developers, 10 developers, right? Everybody is working on different things. So they will take out a branch, they will cut down from that branch, they will put all their code, do experimentation, they will fix everything without disturbing others, and then they will merge the branch. Okay, I will show you this. So here, once we do git checkout hyphen b geometry, it creates a branch. Okay, so see, switch to a new branch geometry. Similarly, if somebody wants to work on another branch, then he also has to do the same thing. But there's a trick here. Okay, let's check one. So this command I will show you. You can also try this command. Okay, git checkout hyphen b geometry. Okay, everybody try this out. This geometry is nothing but the branch name. Okay, cool. Now we will use one more command called git branch. See here, this is important. So like git status, this git branch, these are all our very helpful commands. So git branch, once you type, it will show you how many branches are there in your project. So right now, if you see, we have 2 branches, geometry and master. And right now, which is the active branch? For me, geometry branch is the active branch. If I type git checkout hyphen b something else, algebra, what do you think? From where it will branch out? It will branch out from master or geometry now. Guys, can you answer this question? So at this point, if I type git checkout hyphen b algebra, it will branch out from master or it will branch out from geometry. Geometry, absolutely right. Okay, so that is what we have to check. Okay, that is what we have to check. So before we switch, before we create a branch, we have to first ensure at what branch you are, right? So for example, if Vinay wants to work on a new product, a new feature, he has to make sure he actually reaches to the master branch, right? So what he has done, right? To create a new branch, we use a command called git checkout hyphen b geometry. To already, so we already have a master branch. So we do not want to use this minus B, right? So what you will do? Again, go back to git branch, sorry, git checkout master. So if I do this, I will be again moved to the master branch. Now I will do git branch. So you will see right now in master branch, right? So now if I cut out from here, git checkout hyphen V algebra, then I will be moved to the, I will be actually creating another branch, but out of the master branch, not from the geometry branch. Okay, it's just like a tree, guys. Okay, so you are at a tree, there's a stem, okay, started from 0 point, it's growing. Now there is another feature you want to start, so you just cut out from there. Okay, no, somebody can actually cut out from geometry also, right? In geometry also multiple branches are there, right? So he can cut out from geometry as well. And once feature done, we will merge the code. Okay, so right now we again come back to master branch. So this is the command git checkout geometry. Okay, let's say this is our again checkout. Okay, so we check out to our geometry branch and we can also see our logs. Okay, nothing is there. We already has 3 changes, right? We already has only three changes. Now we have master branch, we have a geometry branch, and right now we are at our geometry branch. Okay, now let's go. This is the code for git checkout master, right? Git checkout master. So if the branch is already existing, how do you switch to that branch? Git checkout master. Okay, cool. Let's go back here one more time. Okay, so we are at geometry branch. Let's add some changes here. So we'll create a file called geometry.java. Okay, class Java. Let's create a function public static here, and let's say what we can create area. Okay, area of a circle or something, or area of a square, right? So let's say area of square. Okay, and we put a side, right? So let's say side is a, and what? Right? So this is the changes. This is what we did. Now we can add multiple changes. So let's go back again here. Okay. Let's check which branch we are. Okay. We are at geometry branch. We are good. Okay. Now let's check git status. Yes, we have to add geometry file. Okay. So let's add git add dot. Okay. We commit these changes. Okay, I have not used status again, right? I can use the status. See, the file is ready to commit. Git commit -m. File added. Okay, let's go and add a few more changes here. So let's add public static here, same. Let's say area of square, area of L, and this L restricts B. Okay, two changes done. And then I will again come back here and I will see git status. Yes, the file has been modified. Let's add these changes to commit, and let's commit these changes. -m of angle method added. Meaningful message. Let's do a git log. This is important, guys. So we have in our master branch is till this point, right? We have added math.java, right? From master branch, we have cut it out, and now we have geometry file added and area of rectangle method also added. Now you can see master branch is little far behind, right? It is having two less commits. And this geometry branch, we have our commits till this point, right? So now our next target is to have these commits. Okay, now our geometry file, let's say our geometry branch is complete, and we want to make sure all these codes again come back to master branch. Okay, so how we will do this? Okay, this is important. So first of all, see at what branch we are. We are a geometry branch. Geometry branch is complete. So let's move out to our branch. Check out master. How we restore master branch. At this point, you have to write another command: git merge the branch name. Git merge and the branch name. To do this, done. Now we have again the geometry branch exists, but all the changes of geometry branch we have actually merged it into our master branch. And if you want to see the proof, we can see git status, git log here. Now our master branch, this is the master branch, also has a this commit, right? Area of rectangle code, geometry file edit code. Earlier the master was somewhere here. Now the master branch pointed to this pointer. So it means this branch also has these two commits already. This is how you should be working on a project. So be it a Java developer or a front-end developer, how you should work here. For example, let's say you are developing an e-commerce website. Okay, I'm just giving an example. E-commerce website. So for example, you are working on a home page. So you create a branch called home page. You complete all your home page code and then commit into the master code. Let's say again you want to work on a different file. For example, you want to work on a product page. So you create a branch called product page and then again you come back here, right? I hope you guys are able to catch it up here till this point. Yeah. Okay. Sanjay asked me like, how do you create a new branch? So git checkout hyphen b and the branch name. The code. Sorry, I not written to everybody. Git checkout hyphen b. So guys, what we will do, we will put a 10 minutes of break. Okay, or not even 10 minutes, we will put a 5 to 7 minutes of a break. Then again you will resume. So I just want to put a little break so that you can digest the informations what we have learned so far. We will again come back in 7 minutes and then we'll start. And this time, since you already learned about what is Git, how do you initialize a Git repo, how do you commit a code, how do you create a branches, and in branch how do you commit a code, and then how do you merge a code from a branch to a master branch, right? So yes, Samiksha, yes, type a question, I will reply you back. Okay, or maybe just type a question, I will reply you back in 5-6 minutes. Okay, is it okay, we can take a 5-6 minutes break? Right, right, Sanjay. So git merge merges the not the current branch. It merges the branch. So it is like this, right? We write git merge and the branch name, right? So it merges the branch name you have given to the branch you are currently in. So first of all, you have to move to the branch where you want to commit, where you want to merge. So I move to the master branch first, and then I merge the geometry branch to the master branch. Okay. So let's connect at 9:37. Okay. You can type all your questions here. I will be happy to answer all of them. Okay. So welcome back, guys. Hope so far you have understood little bit. Okay. At least you have followed the instructions which I have given. Right. Okay. Ansari, what is this LinkedIn profile for? Okay. Sorry, I don't want to know. That's okay. Guys, so we can resume, right? Yes, no. Yes. Okay, great. So, so far, okay, let me share my screen and then I will share you. Okay. Just revise what we have done so far. Okay. So we have few commands which we have learned so far, right? A few basic commands which we have learned is, I will type it here in the chat box. Okay. For you guys. It's like git init. This is the first command, right? And then we learned git status just to see what happens. And then git add dot to add all the files. And then git add file name to add a specific file, right? Right. And once you add the file, then we use git commit -m and the message for commit, right? This is to commit a file. How do you create a, so this is the process again you have to repeat. Now how do you create a branch? First of all, how do you find out what branch you are? So you write git branch. Okay. Then how do you create a branch? So git checkout -b and the branch name. This is how you create a branch. And then you process all the same changes in the branch like git add, git commit, all those things. Then how do you merge a branch to, let's say, a master branch? So first of all, you have to move to the master branch, right? Git check master. And then you have to write git merge geometry. To do this, all your geometry changes will now come to master branch, right? Okay. Now the next problem. So right, we are discussing in terms. Okay. Okay. I do not understand how it will merge. So how it will merge is right. So whatever all the changes you have in your geometry branch, it will actually try to put all the changes in the master branch. Okay, I will show you like this. Okay, I will show you like this, and then you will be surprised to see this. Um, come down here. Okay, so let's come here. This is a good question. Let's do this. First of all, find out at what branch we are. Okay, so let's go and see. Let's go and check out to the geometry branch again. Let's create one more branch from master branch called uh, trigonometry. Okay, trigonometry. Okay, so we create a branch. Now we will come here in our VS code. Sorry. Okay, and we are in a trigonometry branch. And now let's add one file called trigonometry .java. Okay. This is the class, and let's add a function. Okay, public static. For example, a function called void draw sine curve. Okay, this is the function, nothing else. Okay, we have made it as an empty. Let's commit these changes. So we again come back here. We will see git status, git add, git commit. We will see trigonometry file added. So we can again come back here and we see that trigonometry file added here. But now understand this one, guys. Is this a spelling mistake? Okay, please forgive me for the spelling mistake. But this file we have added to which branch? Trigonometry branch. So this file should not be there in our master branch, right? Right? Okay, we will see this one. Git log. See, a master branch does not have this file. We just added to this trigonometry branch. So if I move, to my master branch, I should not see my trigonometry file, right? Let's go and check. See, where is this file? Right? So the file is only there in our trigonometry, right? It's not there in the master branch. But if we merge the command, if we merge the trigonometry branch, which has this file, then this file will also come here. Okay, so I will show you here and then you will see the magic. So we are at the master branch and git merge trigonometry. Okay. Merged, and then you can see the file also appeared. Okay, good. I hope you understood this point. Okay, everybody understood? This is important, guys. Okay, so now tell me this question. Okay, this is important. Now let's say all of you, what will happen? All the changes are at your local, means they are on in your laptops. What will happen if somehow your laptop got crashed or it got stolen or something can be happen, right? While drinking the coffee, you spill the coffee on your laptop, right? The hard disk got crashed. Anything can happen. So will you lose the code or not? Yes, no. Please reply. Why you will not lose the code? Your hard disk is crashed, right? There is no way you can get the data from your hard disk. We do not have a Git account yet. Git does not have a Git account. There is no cloud so far. I have not taught you anything related to cloud so far. Okay, I have only taught you about the Git. Okay, so now understand the difference between Git and GitHub. So far, everything we have done is Git. Okay, and GitHub is nothing but a cloud. Just like Google Drive, it's a cloud. So with using Git, we can actually push. So Git is nothing but a software to keep track of all these files. And in GitHub, you can actually keep that folder. That's it. Nothing much. In GitHub, you can keep that folder there. Okay. So now if I move this folder to cloud, which means GitHub, then even though my hard disk crashed, I will not lose the data, right? I will not lose the data. So in that case, I have to do something in my GitHub. Okay. So what is GitHub? GitHub is a website. It's a simple website. Okay. So github.com. It's a cloud. It's a cloud to store code. Okay. Does GitHub is the only option? No, there are multiple options are there. Okay. GitLab, Bitbucket, multiple are there. Most famous one is GitHub. So people usually use this GitHub. Now, how will I actually put my code here? Right? So usually if you start, right, it will not be like this. Okay. You have to sign up here. Okay. You have to sign up here. So I will show you like this. Okay. .com. Okay. So this is the first screen and let's do a sign up here. So those who already have a GitHub account, they don't have to do a sign up. Those who does not, let's do this simple sign up. So it is very simple. Whatever instruction it is telling you, you just have to do this. Okay. So I will just write abc@gmail.com. Okay. Or abc something 1 2 3 4. Okay. So this is some random email I'm putting. I'm not creating it. Okay. I will just showing you what are the information you have to put. You have to create a password. So something. Okay. I will put it. I will put continue. I have to put a username, right? So some username if I put something like it's any username, right? So I will just write git demo user 1 2 3 something like this. Okay, some random number which is available here. It usually say here, right? It says that here, right? So if it is not available, one is available. This is not available, right? So it is disabled. So once I put some number here, 1 2 3, it's available. It turns into green. Would you like to receive product updates and announcement by email? No, I do not want to listen. I will have continue. Then I have to solve a puzzle. Okay, I have to start a puzzle. It says pick one square that shows two identical objects. So I think this is the one, right? This chess one. So if I choose this and if I go to next, right, it will just create your account. Okay, that's it. Nothing else. Simple enough. Can you do this, guys? Everybody, just try to log in, try to register yourself and create this account. And once account created, you just let me know in the chat box. So github.com, go and click on sign up and enter the information, whatever is being asked for. That's it. So if you have an account, you can log in. Please log in into your GitHub account. So those who are able to log in, just say yes. Okay, logged in. Good. And those who are still doing it, take your time. You have 2 to 3 minutes of a time. It will just take 2 to 3 minutes of time, and then it will allow you to log in. Do it, guys. Emmy login, Vinay login, Somili also login, Hi login, and Saurabh already have an account. Login Saurabh. Okay, Kenneth also. Do it, guys. I'm waiting for your messages. So once a good number of people will log in, right? Then only I will continue. Okay. Debjyoti Datta also logged in. Sundaram. Good, Sundaram. You can also log in. Akash. Good. Okay, Rahul. Great job. Good job, Gaurav. Aishwarya. Yes, logged in. Good. Great. Guys, 10 more. Okay. So I have seen so far 10 more logged in, and then I will start. 1. Anjana. Good job. 2. Money. Okay. Great, Money. 3, 4. Okay. Amrit Verma. 5. Girish. Yes. 5. I need 5 more. Okay. Goduli Vyas. Yes. Great. 6. 4 more. Okay. 6, 7, 8. Okay. 2 more. Good job, Harshvardhan, Bhumi. 2 more, guys. Okay, done. Okay, so let's start. So I already have this account. Okay, so similarly, if you have logged in, you will be at this page. Ideally, you will be at this page. How do you create a repo here in this cloud? Multiple options. You have a new button here. You will also see a new button somewhere here, but I will just suggest a common button so that you can see at your right hand side, wherever your login information is there, your account information, right? Here only you will see a plus button. So you can click on this plus button and click here, new repository. Okay. And I will do, so I just here create a new repository, and this repository I will create a folder name. So I will choose the same folder name, whichever I have. Sample project 1. Okay, I have used the same folder name. See why it is not coming? Because I already have this folder. So before that, right, I already practiced this one for you. So I have this folder name. So this is not there, already existing. So I will create sample project 1, which is what I want. So I create this one. I will create this as a public repo. You can also create a private repo. You can also create a public repo. Why I'm in favor of public repo? Because we want to share code to the outside world. Okay, we want to show our code to the interviewer. So I will say here public. Then here we come down. We do not want to click on this add a readme file here. Let's not do this. I do not want to add this also. License, I do not care right now. Just that's it. So I can write a description here also. Okay, so let's do, this is a sample project or git demo, something like that. I can do it. Okay, and then I will click on create repository. Okay, done guys. This line, these three lines, we will be using it. Okay, now you can also see that by default it is, so I have to use this git remote add origin and this line. I will explain you this line very patiently. Okay, so I will copy this line. I will go to my command prompt, my terminal, and I will write this line. I will copy paste this line. Okay, so I do not need all of this. Okay, first of all, I just need this first line. Okay, to git remote, it is saying please use git, then remote. Remote means our cloud, right? We are doing a setting. Add means add origin. What is this origin stands for? Okay, guys. So in Git, whenever you writing Git, whenever you see this word called origin, it means cloud. Okay, it means cloud. So what we are trying to do, we are trying to set the URL of the cloud. So when I say origin, you set this origin equals to this value. Okay, so git remote, you set the remote, but you set this origin equals to this value. So if I enter this, my origin has been set. It means now my local and my remote, it means my cloud, are now connected. We have established a link between my local and the cloud. Okay, we have established that link. Now what do we want? We want to move our code. Right now there is no code here right now. See here, there is no code. Okay, so let's, what we want to do, git, we want to move into the master branch. Okay, so we are already into our master branch, right? We are already in our master branch. You will see our branch name, git branch. We are already in our master branch. What we want to do here is we want to push all our code to our master branch. So we can use the same command. It is written here, git push but instead of main, we are going to write master. So the branch name is master. So git push hyphen u origin and master. What we are doing, say you push all the code from master branch of master branch to the origin. Okay, guys, done. Okay, done. It's done actually. Now our code is actually moved to the master branch in the cloud. So if I come here and if I refresh, now you can see your code. You can see the branch name here. See here, no other branches are not here because we have not pushed all the branches. We have only pushed the master branches, right? And we have all the code related to this here. Okay, right? So this is what very important is. Okay, you can actually push a code. So whenever we do some changes, we can easily push our changes to the cloud. Okay, how do we do that? I will show you right now. Once you have this process done, so you add the git remote, the link is set up, then you just have to use git push origin and the branch name. Okay, we will, right now we will just try this out. Okay, so how do we try this out? We will come here, we are in our master branch. So let's go to our main file here and let's create a okay, instance of math. Okay, so we create an instance of math, and now don't worry about the logic. Okay, I'm not writing the exact code. Okay, just I want to show you that we have made some changes. Okay, um And then we can also write this function somewhere here, right? Like mm, hello world. Similarly, we have written here, right? We can also use this method here with some, or we can actually write math dot add some. This is also fine. Actually, this line is not at all required. It's a static method. Don't worry about this. We will just type few values here. Let's say 10, 20. Okay. This is the normal code. We have called this math dot add function. We have passed this value. Now, if I go here, let's clear this. You'll see git status main.file has been modified. Let's add this file. Add dot. Now git check the status. Okay, the file is ready to add. Git commit message. Okay. Used as dot add in Java file. Okay, done. So we have committed. Now our changes. Now if I come here and open this main file, I am not able to see the changes. Why? Because my changes are right now in the local. If I do status, my changes are in the local, and it is saying you should use git push to publish your local commits. So if you want to make sure your local changes should reach to the cloud, you have to do git push. So how do we write git push statement? Git push origin master. Done. And now if I come here and refresh this page, see the changes are here. Guys, are you able to understand what we are doing? Okay, great. Let's do this. Git push, only git push. Everything is up to date. So let's not worry about this single statement. Okay, never use the single statement. Always write properly. Git push what branch you want to push from local to the cloud. Okay, and this is a very good strategy. What happens, for example, we are working on a feature. Okay, we are working on a feature. So there is a code in the cloud. There is a code in the cloud. We actually got all the code in our local. Now let's say anybody. Okay, let's say Mega. Okay, let's say Mega wants to work on a particular piece of information. Okay, and she started working on it. So what she did, she first of all she went to the master branch. Then she created a repo. Then she created a repo. Everything was fine. But in the repo, she was doing multiple mistakes because she was a new developer. So you see, but she does not want everybody to see what are the mistakes he's doing. See, a branch is not something like that you created today and by end of the day you will commit and you will merge all the changes, right? A branch will go for weeks and years also, right? It's something, a project which started and it will continue for a longer duration. So in that duration, some changes, some experimentation, you will do it at your local, but you do not want that changes to be visible to everybody, right? So in that case, what will you do, right? You will never publish your local branch, right? You will always push your changes to the master branch, and only the master branch code you will push it to the cloud, right? You're getting my point, guys? So you started a new branch, you started writing code, but you were doing multiple mistakes there. But end of the day, if you push all your mistakes directly to the cloud, everybody will be able to see all your mistakes, right? And that will not be a good situation. So at that point, you will be writing all your code in the local. If everything is fine, then you merge your code directly to the master branch from your local branch only, and master branch you will publish, not your local branches. Okay, that's the reason there the number of branches in local will not be same as the number of branches in the cloud. Okay, there will always be difference, and it's good to have that difference. A local people, he will create multiple branches because he's doing some experiments, and in cloud we already want to keep which is good, right, which everybody is using. Okay, I hope you guys understood this, at least this concept. Okay, now let's do one more thing, and I will show you a little interesting point here. Okay, so in our project, now I can see all the codes right here. Now let's say what we want to do here is we added our changes. Let's say there are multiple developers working on it, right? Possibility in a single code base, multiple workers can actually, multiple developers can work on it. So let's say this particular file, somebody else is also working and he has made the changes and he has published it here. So right now I do not have a two accounts or two laptops to show you this one, but I will mimic this behavior for you. So what he does, I will edit it here directly. Okay, so let's say he has made one more line comment. Ln not subtract n, and here see same thing. So here I will update the message subtract main.java. Okay, I will directly commit to the master branch, commit here. See, committed here. Okay, now whether I will see these changes in my local, let's go and check first. See, these changes are not here, only add changes are here. So I will check the Git status. It looks like everything is clean, but ideally this is not right. It means whenever I am, there are changes in my cloud, but right now I am not able to see it. Okay, so how will I know? There is no way to know what all the changes has been doing in the cloud. So what we do every day when we start our work, or every day when we want to take a snapshot, when you want to commit, we will always do a git pull origin. Okay, so like push is for pushing our local code to the cloud. Pull is for pulling the cloud code to our local. See, now we have pulled the code. Now if I go to my code, see here, I got the subtract method. Okay, so let's say two developers are working, right? How they will work? So one will push it to the cloud, the other will actually pull it from the cloud. A and B developers are working. A, let's say A completed his feature and he will push it to the cloud. B wants to use the same code, so he will pull it from the cloud. So A will do git push origin master and B will do git pull origin master, right? Simple. Okay, I hope till this point you are able to understand this behavior, right? So let's create another branch, or maybe let's do this trigonometry branch, right? Let's move into trigonometry branch and add a few more functions. Okay, so I will show you an interesting scenario which usually comes and which is very important. Okay, so I am here at my local. Let's write all the branch name. We have three branches. Okay, so let's check out the trigonometry branch. Okay, spelling mistake. we move to the trigonometry branch. Okay. Branch. See, we are into trigonometry branch. And now we will go to our code. Okay, now we will go to our code. And this is the guys, this is what usually people do in the companies. Okay, people do it in the companies. So master branch is a very important branch. Not everybody is allowed to directly commit into master branch. There is a check. Okay, the higher you can say the experienced developers, right, or architects, they usually put a check on that branch. Like you cannot directly put into master branch, because if a junior developer comes and he make a mistake and directly put into that some code, right, it might actually screw up the whole project. So he will, these experienced developer, they are become the gatekeepers for that branch, master branch, and they will follow a process. That process I want to show you. So right now we have the sign function. Let's add a cos function. Okay, cos function. Okay, let's in progress. Okay, done. Okay. Okay, let's change the file name also. Okay. The file name also needs to be changed. So let's change this file name also. Trigonometry. Okay, see, done. And now we will come back here. We will see the changes. See, so it is actually deleting the old file and then adding a new file, because I have changed the spelling mistake and rename also, right? So we do not worry about this one. We will just do git add space dot commit hyphen m, renamed the file and added a cos function. Okay, commit. Let's check at what branch we are. We are at the trigonometry branch. This time, instead of merging it directly from master, right? How do we merge in master? First we move it to master, then we do git merge trigonometry. This time, instead of directly merging it to master, we are pushing our changes. We are actually pushing the trigonometry branch to the cloud. Okay. Now we will go to the cloud. You can see here, we do not have a trigonometry branches here, right? Only master branch in the cloud. In the cloud means in the GitHub. So git push origin, the branch name, trigonometry, spelling mistake. Sorry. Okay, pushed. We'll come back here. We'll refresh the page and we can see here. See, trigonometry. Okay. In trigonometry, if we go, we will see the file name has been changed and the function has been added. Okay. If I go back to the master branch, okay, sorry, I have to go to like this, to go here, then I will go to master branch. I will see that the old file. Okay. Only this much. So there is an interesting message which is coming here. Okay. I will show you. See here in yellow, it is showing here compare and pull request. This is very important. Okay. So what does this pull request mean? Okay, I will show you like this. What exactly it means here is, so two developers working on a single project, right? So you mean this sample project should be accessible to you also, to me also, right? So as let's say I am a developer, let's say you are a fresher. So you completed your trigonometry branch, okay? And you are seeing this message, trigonometry has a recent push 1 minute ago, compare and pull request. Let's say even if it is not showing you, right? You can go here at pull request. Okay, here, this tab, this is the coding tab, this is the pull request tab. And then here you can create new pull request. Okay, from which branch? So base branch master, compare branch trigonometry. Okay, base branch master, compare branch trigonometry. And now you can see the code which you have added. Okay, you can see the code which you have added. This is the file, the old file has been deleted, and this is the new file, and this functions has been added. Now I just have to create a pull request. Okay, done. Now what does this mean? Once I create a pull request, okay, once I create a pull request, so who is creating pull request? A fresher is creating a pull request. Okay, the lower experienced person is creating a pull request, and then this page. Okay, so again I will come back here, and let's say experienced developer, architect developer, he comes here, he will see this is the pull request, and then he will go to see the commits, he will check the file, and he will go through all your code, right? He will go through all your code. So he is reviewing changes. See here, he's reviewing changes. So he can comment on your code. He can write a comment on your code. See here the plus sign, he can write some comment like, okay, why did you done this? Okay, why this message is empty? Why your function is empty? Okay, please complete all those things. Something like that. He will put all the messages here. Okay, so he will go through all your logics, what you have done, and he will suggest you. So how many of you can just tell me, what do we call this process? This looking, another developer looking through your code and figuring out what is wrong with your code or what is good with your code. What do we call this process? Anyone? Reviewing? Yes, reviewing. Okay, in simple words it is called as a debugging. Debugging is finding out an error while going through the code, right? Running the code and then finding out. Feedback, no feedback, this is called as code review. Okay, this is called code review. So why do we create a pull request? Because we want our code to be reviewed. Even experienced developer also raises pull request so that other developers can review their code and provide a valuable feedback. Okay, since we have raised a pull request, now an experienced developer can see here, this is what has done, and he can provide you a proper feedback like this, right? Please fill the relevant function definition. Okay? Something like this. Okay, a single comment, something like this. And sorry, I'm made again a spelling mistake. And then the other developer will do a resolve. You can say this one. Okay, and after all, he will click here and then he will approve, right? So I am the author, so that's why I cannot do this, right? Submit review and something like that, right? So done. Now the basic idea here is, once I created this, once I create this pull request, once it is being reviewed, I have an option to merge pull request. So if I merge my pull request, okay, merge my pull request, confirm merge, then the code from trigonometry will be merged to the master branch. Okay, and this whole code review process will be tracked here, right? In this point, I can see what are the methods I have written, what are the comment I got, all those things will be tracked here. So nobody can actually put a wrong information in the major code base if we go through this process of pull request. So now if I go here in master branch, see the file name has been changed and the functions, these both the functions has been added here. right? Got it? Now you can also see this change. This is my trigonometry branch. Now if I go back here, hit checkout master, checkout master, in my local, it is still the old file. See here, it is still the old file. Why? So the code has been merged in the cloud, but it's not here in my local. What should I do? So the code is there in my cloud, but not in the local. What should I do? Pull. Very good, Samiksha. Okay, so I should do a pull. So what should I pull? It pull origin master. Done. Okay, if I see my code now, see the spelling mistake has been changed. And if I open this file again, the function has been came. Okay, in my master branch. Okay, any doubt so far? Anybody? Okay, so I can see no doubts. So guys, this is it. Okay, this is the only information you need right now to start using Git. Okay, you can upload, you can start working on your code in your local, and how you upload your code to the GitHub. Okay, and when you upload your code to the GitHub, this is the URL you should be sharing it with the interviewers, right? This is the URL you can add to your resumes, like sample project one. So the interviewer, if you made this repo as a public repo, he will be able to see all your code, and then he will go here, and then he will ask the question, why did you add it like this? Why did you add it like this? So you will ask the question, and since you have done the hard work, you will be able to answer all these questions and get selected. Got the idea? Okay, so let's say you work on 5 projects, 2 projects, right? You should be putting all your projects into the GitHub. Okay, and this is very important for your getting the good job, and also very important when you work as a team, right? Let's say you are at your final year and 2 to 3 people you are working might be working as a project, right? So how are you working without Git? One is working at this home, one is working at that home, and even though, let's say you are working at the same uh, place, same location, you might have different laptops, right? So how will you work? So to have a collaboration, you need to have the same project, and you can add multiple peoples to the same project. So for example, this project, right? Sample project. Right now, I am the only one. So you can go here, settings. You can go to collaborators. Okay, it's asking me for my password, don't worry. So what I will do, in collaborators, right, you have to pass your friend's username. Once you pass your friend's username, you can add him, and then both the people can work on this project. Okay, that's it. Mehul, are you there? Guys, you can type if you have any. What was the command to push the
Yes,
trigonometry branch?
Bhupendra.
Yeah, so Mehul, I am done with the content. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so the stage is yours. If the student has any questions, they can ask me. There is a one question which I will just reply it back. So
Okay.
guys, get push origin and the branch name. So let's say the branch name is trigonometry, right? Trigonometry is the okay. Anjana, what I meant by pull request here is, see, so why do we, in before doing this, right, we can easily commit our code to the main branches, right, master branch. But in our industry, people are not allowed to do that. Okay, they can work on their local branch, but they are not allowed to work on the, they're not allowed to merge their code into the main branch, master branch. Okay, so For that, they have to raise a pull request. Okay, what do you mean by pull request, right? So you have certain changes, then you push your branches to the GitHub, then you went to this place, pull request, you create new pull request, you select the branch from which branch you want. So you want to raise a pull request against this branch from this branch. So you select the branch name and then you click on this create pull request. So it will just create a facility. It will just create a facility for the senior developer to look into all the changes you have done. Okay. So that he will actually pinpoint if there is any error. He will go through all your code before actually putting any kind of mistake. Multiple people can go through your code line by line. And once they all review, once they all approve, then they will merge your code to the master branch. Right? So this is the concept of pull request. Pull request is basically for the code reviews. Great job, Gaurav. Somili, what was your question? Can you type it again? How can we pull a previous code from a cloud? Previous means at certain point. Let's say you have certain point of code that you want to pull, right? That is what? Hmm. Hmm. Okay. There is a command for that. Okay. I will show you this one, but I want to does not want to overburden you with the knowledge. But let's say I will show you like this. Okay. To clear this, I will show a git log. Okay, guys. So right now you see that, right? We are at here. Okay. Now I am here. I'm at this level. Okay. I'm at this level right now. Okay. I want to move to this level again, back to this level, or maybe to this level. Okay. How will I move to this level? So I will copy this commit message here. We'll do this queue here. Okay. Check out. So I'm suggesting not to use all those things, but let's do this. No problem. A new branch has been created, and let me see. It actually creates a new branch, but no, actually some mistake I have done here. Okay, I will show you this one. This is not that important, but right now there are multiple tools to do this. This is nothing but like I want to move to this particular hash code. Okay, so there are commands for this one. Okay, it's not that difficult, but let's not do this hodgepodge and others gets confused. Who asked that question? Money, I will, okay, I will show you this code later on. Okay, is that fine? You can actually connect with Mehul and me later on, and I will show you this one. Thank you so much. Yeah. Yeah, Mehul, stage is yours, Mehul, I think. Okay,
So,
there is some good questions also, right? There is one question for Gulam. So, okay. Gulam, there is one favorite question is right, why it is called as a distributed version control system. So why distribution means you can have different, first of all, you have the different copy, one copy at a different location. Okay. And the other why it is distributed is because it does not necessarily what you have in your local, it has to be there in the cloud also. So maybe people have different copies of it. Okay. That's why. That is one of the common question, and all the questions are which I have given you the commands, right? These are the questions. How will you merge it? What command will you use for the merge? How will you move to the different branch? All these things. If you delete the git folder from the parent folder, then all your things will be deleted, and whatever location you are currently in, right, only those changes will be there. So you will lose all the tracks of the information. Okay. Sanjay asks a very good question. um what is a fork? Okay, what is a fork? So I will just show you this also. So guys, fork is usually for when we want to work on somebody else code. For example, this code, right? The same code which I give it to you. Okay, this code. Let's say you guys want to work on this code. I have not given you this access, right? But still it's public. So you can see the code, but how can you work on this code? So what will you do? Once you open this URL, the same URL, if you click on this button called fork, okay, you will get this whole copy of sample project one in your repo. Okay, got it? So it means like copying the whole repo in your account. So for that you use fork. Suppose we want to work on the code again after some days or weeks maybe. How to go to that folder into Git? Guys, I showed you, right, this history part, right? We can actually go to any one of these commits, back to any of these commits. Okay, it's not that difficult. Okay, so once we have the history, we can actually go back to any point. After review is done, how can we work? How can we overwritten the code? So again you have to make the changes, and again you have to push. So as soon as you push, your repo will your pull request will be updated, and then the experienced engineer side, they will review your code and they will get it approved, right? So they will put a comment. So you will rectify all your comment, means you will go back to the code and then you will fix all the problems and then again push it. So your pull request will also be uploaded. So cloning a repo means copying the repo from cloud to your local. Okay. Forking a repo means you are for somebody else code, which is not your code. Okay. You are forking into your cloud, your own cloud account. I hope this answer is also clear. Last one. Cloning is for clone is like you are putting whatever you have it here, putting in your own desktop. Yeah, Akshay, we will be discussing about certification. Mehul will speak to about this one. Okay. Git push, origin, and the branch name you have to do. And maybe there are certain errors coming up, Anjana. Don't worry about the errors. You can search all these errors on the Google. Okay. All developers use Google, right? Whenever you come up with some errors, you should search for it. Then you learn more about that. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Mehul, over to you. I think I have answered all the questions.
Hey, thanks a lot, Bhupendra, for the wonderful session.